You know what time it is? Driving a quarter of a mile at a time. I'm like, you want to go fast? Well, we go fast. You want to go furious? Well, that's a separate topic. That's a different movie. We're talking about the lane that we in, and it's the left one. Because you know why? This is Fastlane. WWE. That's right. Ah, a lot of those. But probably not really a good build up or trailer for this. Who cares? Anyway, time for these predictions. I will say though, I don't know how to feel about this pay per view at all. All the other pay per views, I normally have like some type of, like maybe the build up wasn't good, but we need matches, or or you got these wrestlers going to put out something. Yeah, I'm not saying that the matches are going to be bad because they're going to be. I was like, because all of these people are good performers. I was like, I mean, in any case, they're always good performers, but some good. There's good talent here, stuff like that. The build up has been there, but I'm not gonna also act like it's not a lackluster pay per view. And not many matches, which I guess on one hand is cool that we're not gonna be here all day, so I can appreciate that. But it's also a bunch of matches that it's kind of like, these seem really like matches you would have on TV. And the matches that we've been getting on TV have been matches I can see at a pay per view. Like, not gonna lie, like McIntyre and what he's been doing, I was like, that'd be sort of. I was like, the matches he's been sort of doing with like Woods and stuff. I'd watch. I watch on the pay per view. Ivar, I was like, the Gunther to Master Ciampa match. I was like, could have been on the pay per view. Um, I was like, I thought that they might try to have some type of, Raquel and Rhea and all them on, versus like with Nia Jackson on top, something like that. No, so I guess that's built for a later day. Anyway, yeah, so I was like, there's been built up for these matches. Is just meh. I guess we'll see how that pretty much goes. So I guess within saying that, first up is the LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I sort of wish they'd come up with like a name. They ain't got to be nothing crazy. I was like, you can't do the Hurt Business anymore. But I wish they would sort of come up with a name. Maybe like the All Dominant Profits. Maybe the Street Dominance. All Street. I don't know. But either way, they're gonna go against the LWO. I feel like they're gonna win just because they just got put together. They haven't been together long as the LWO. It sort of sucks because I feel like the LWO also hasn't been doing anything, even though they've been together for since like almost like not. It's not been a year, but it's felt that long. I was like, I know they've been together at least before WrestleMania, but they haven't also done anything worth a damn. They haven't been in any they haven't showcased themselves in any matches. They haven't really been they haven't been really winning either in a situation. I don't count Ray as that because I feel like all his stuff is Ray. Zelina Vega has I was like she's been in some matches and then she just hasn't. So on one hand I was like she's been featured but also hasn't been in a spot of winning, but she's been featured. And I'm not gonna lie too. Like sometimes she also does seem like she's Zelina Vega than LWO. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, maybe that's because like Escobar and the two dudes. I don't even really know them like that. Maybe because they were separate, or maybe because they come out, but they don't ever do anything together in a way. Maybe if Zelina was a little bit more in the title picture, not even saying like she got to be the one that's because she didn't have her shot with Rhea and stuff, and she's been in Money in the Bank, but just involved with it or around it. Maybe if they were more prominent. I don't know. That's why I'm gonna go with the Bobby Lashley and the Street Profit, just because you want to show the dominance. You want to show that you want to have Bobby prove to them too that this is the way we gonna do things. If you want to be champion, you want to be taken seriously. Blah blah blah. This is how we gonna do it. I was like, it just seemed like a no brainer here. Yeah, so sort of sucked for the LW on the way, but Hey, that's where the cookie crumbles sometimes. Speaking of, where we go from the 6 man to the tag team, and this is Judgment Day versus Jay Uso and Cody Rhodes. This one's difficult. I'm gonna say I think Judgment. See, it's difficult. 'Cause I can see it from both sides. Judgment Day to cause more turmoil in their group with either JD or the crisis they've been going through or whatever. You can have them lose the championship. That way, only person that got something is Damian Priest with a briefcase. Maybe McDonough costs them, and therefore that causes even more of a problem. I still think they're going to do them at War Games, so therefore you can build even more tension with them, just because now they got to join. They got to still be a group and face each other in a more locked situation. So I can see that, and because of that, I could see Uso and Rose winning it, because I feel like they also could do the thing where it's not the same, but basically where like the number one contender and the heavyweight champion, or two number one contenders, they match them up as a team together. That way there could be some dissension, and they're not judging each other. Can they work together? Kind of thing. They're sort of doing that here, except for Cody Rhodes. Is it somebody that you got to be like, are they over here trying to work together? I was like, Jay wants to do what's right. Cody Rhodes is the guy that's letting everybody do something right. So they're not even fitting into that formula. They would just be a weird tag team. But I can see them also being a tag team just because everybody else is having beef with them. And Cody Rhodes has to come. It give Cody Rhodes a title and something for him to do. And also give Jay something to do, where Jay's been losing. And I think he's sort of in the boat where he's going to be losing just because he got to prove himself, or everybody don't like him. So you got to have that. You got to have him be in some type of turmoil or some adversity. Which is funny since he with Cody, who's adversity. But also, I think they don't have nothing for Cody to really do. He doesn't have nobody to really fight right now. He's not in the title picture, so you give him tag team title for a while, and him with Oos, and they could build a whole yo, he's good. We're over here working as a tag team. See, he's trying to prove himself, that kind of thing. But I would like it if they sort of just had like them lose because of Uso in some form or fashion. He does something and he causes them to lose. Cody's not going to think. Cody's going to realize it's an accident, but to everybody else, it's still going to look bad. So, and also, even though I was like, Judgment Day can still have the title, but they still win it clunky, it still sort of hurts their thing, but they still get to keep all the titles. With Dom winning his championship, Rhea not having anything that she's going to have to compete again for her championship, I can see them all keeping it for this whole, while they have it. But that, that's why I made my final decision. Uso and Cody is going to win. It gives Cody something to do, because he has nothing to do at all. And he can come on the show, brag about it all the time. So he got to be featured with the title. Uso gets something to do as well too, other than losing as well too. And plus, it'll look a certain type of way when he with like KO and all them, and it's like he's like, ugh, a tag team, that kind of thing. And also too, Dom got his title back. Rhea has her title, and she basically was talking junk about them and their titles. And if they both lose it for whatever reason, that causes dissent. That whole type of thing. So I was like, I'm gonna go with Oos, and I'm gonna go with Rhodes on this one. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. All right, so only women match on the title, which is Io, Asuka, and Flair. To me, this has been really clunky, and which is sort of a shame that Io hadn't really had nothing really to do. Like, they've been doing stuff, but not really. Flair just here because she has to. It's the season, and then she'll scurry off after pretty much like after WrestleMania or whatever. And Asuka, and I was like, Asuka's always around, and Asuka, had the championship, be in matches and stuff like that. But it is also weird and clunky every time that she's in it as well too, especially with the character that she's in now. I think that Io's going to retain. I was like, that's why I think it's a triple threat. That way, nobody can technically look bad. Like, I don't think they're going. I think Asuka's going to eat the pin. But if Charlotte eats the pin, it's nothing serious because it's a triple threat and it's not 1-on-1. That way she can still be dominant. I was like, Asuka does nothing to her mystique if she loses. To be honest, and Io just hadn't had anything proper to do here in a way that I'm like, and I think they're probably going to save her for an actual like 1-on-1 versus Bianca. That way it could actually be something. And also Jade out there lurking and stuff like that. So I think Io's going to win this one. I was like, Bailey's going to try to help in some form. Uh, I don't. I think I was like. I think it's too early to try to have it be something that causes damage control to have some problems or well, not problems, but like actual like if Bailey does something to make Io lose, obviously sound like some reason for them to break up. I don't think that's what's gonna happen here. I think Io gets to. I think she gets to win. I was like probably Bailey helps in some form and keeps everything going. All right, so the Seth Rollins Shinsuke Nakamura championship, last man standing. I was like, I think the vignettes that and the prom and the stuff that Shinsuke been doing, I have liked those a lot. The promos that and stuff that Seth has been doing, and they've been they not, I guess, hokey, but they're not hitting with me. Is like he got the voice and he got all the emotion in it, but then I hear the words and they just don't resonate with me. I just don't really care. But I do want to see their match. I do want to see like Shinsuke's always like I like Shinsuke, sometimes I don't. So or whatever. I was like got a good theme and all that other stuff. But but seeing him in a last man standing match. Last time I remember this was against AJ Styles, and that was a really good match until pretty much towards the end. But I I I I even though I don't know how Shinsuke will do as a world heavyweight champion, I want him to win. I think this is really the only thing you really can do. Otherwise, that's it. I don't think there's going to be any third one because you can't do anything after a last man standing match, really. Like unless Shinsuke wins and then you could do something off of that. But and also too, I was like the way Self has been talking about the back and all the other stuff. Well, he had to take off time, blah blah blah, all this stuff. You want to put an emphasis on this. Otherwise, when it's time for him to have his whoever he fights against next, the back is going to be a part of it, right? I was like, you done hype the back up to this whole thing that if you have another person, you will have to have something with the back, right? I mean, I know we can sometimes forget, but not in this new WWE and not the way we done brought this up. So I have a feeling that Seth is going to win, but I'm gonna say Shinsuke Nakamura because if not, I don't think you can ever really do Shinsuke Nakamura in this type of spot again. This is probably I was like y'all was able to break him back into a heavyweight championship spot, and I think this is really like the last one you're able to do. Otherwise, after that, nobody's gonna take anything really seriously, and he's just gonna keep staying a mid carder and even that. So I'm gonna say Shinsuke Nakamura gets the last laugh on this one, and he wins the championship. And then you could bring back Seth later on or something like that. I think it's easier to do that than to try to find Drew's around, but anyway, I was like, I'm gonna go with Shinsuke. Anyway, so the last match is the Bloodline versus John Cena and LA Knight. John Cena and LA Knight's gonna win. I was like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's how it's gonna go. Pretty self-certain for because you can't afford LA Knight not to really get this win. I was like, I guess you could pin Cena just because it doesn't do any harm to Cena for him to lose. Like, maybe you have like Solo win it. That way, Jimmy could be whatever he's being, mad or whatever. But I was like, unless to me, I mean, unless Roman's going to like show up, and by that he would still show up at the end of the match, it's going to be LA Knight. I was like, LA Knight makes the save. He teamed with John Cena, so it was like stars in everybody's eyes. And Jimmy, we don't know what he's going to do. Solo, spin solo. I was like, something will cause a riot. They'll lose. Yeah. What I'm hoping for is at the end of this match that I think it sort of be somewhat cool if at the end Roman comes out and do what he sort of did against Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman a couple years back, where he just came in and wrecked everybody. Where he just comes in and he just beats up John Cena and he spears the hell out of LA Knight. And I guess on one hand, everybody can get the LA Knight versus Roman match that everybody been claiming on. And John Cena and Roman, that don't really matter in that sort of format or situation. But I like Cena pops up here and there, even with the strike being like done. But the actors, I was like, well, the actors still going on with there. But I was like, that's the way I see that match. Cena LA Knight wins, possible Roman comes out, wrecks them all, and reestablish the bloodline, depending on how we feel about Jimmy in this situation. Anyway, that's my predictions for this whole Fastlane. That is going to probably be like a kind of match. I guess the way I did it would have to be sort of the end, because I was like, if I wanted Roman to come out, I don't think that they would do that for a mid match. They probably would leave off air with that. So maybe the last man standing goes in the middle or something. I don't know. But anyway, what are your predictions? I was like, you think I got this right? Maybe wrong, depending on how I see the format of storytelling sort of going. Let me know. I was like, with a little list of anything. If you don't like this video, hey, maybe next time. But until then, see you at the Fast Lane.